Hello everyone, welcome back to NonnyPlus, the number one place to learn C Sharp very, very easy. So in today's class, we'll be learning how to name variables properly in C Sharp, which is very important if you want to write clean and professional code. So let's dive in. So in our previous videos, we discussed on how to declare our variables, also discussed on how to show our variables on our console application by using console.write9. You can see we have about five variables that was declared in our previous video: string first name, int age, bool is students, double score, and character grade. So these are variables that were declared, and this is the way we were able to show them on on our console application by using console.write line. So when we write code, variables names help us understand what each part of our code or what of our program does. So it's very important to name our variable very well so that we're able to understand what that code or what our project will look like. So which is very important. So imagine you come back to your code after like 2 weeks, you'll be able to understand what X means, or be able to understand what Y means, or we'll be able to understand what Z means. So you can see in this our code, we wrote int age is equals to 25. So this is an integer. This age is the name of the variable. It was declared very well. And this 25 is the value that is assigned to this age. So if I should come back to this code or come back to this project, or if I should give someone to look at this code, they're able to understand that this 25 is an age number, this 92.5 is a score, and this A is a grade because I able to declare my variable very, very well. So this variable reflects how your project will look like or reflects how your codes will look like. So it's very, very important to pay very attention or pay details in writing your variables. So when I write our variables, remember variables helps to understand what each part of our code does. So that is why using good names is very important, not just for you, but for other people reading your code too. Let's say, for instance, I come in and say int A is equals to 25. What is A? What is 25? I don't even know. If I should come back like after 1 month, or if I should share this project to someone to look at, well, first ask me, what is A? What does 25 stand for? Because of how I declare my variable, I just say int A 25. No, but if you want to if you want to make your variable to reflect you reflect your project, you can just say int age is equals to 25. This shows that this 25 is an age number. So don't declare a variable by using X or using Y or using Z. So let's get that in our mind. So let's start with some rules for naming variables in C Sharp. So there are different rules in naming variables with C Sharp. So first of all, variables name should start with letter A to Z, small letter A to Z, or you can start with underscore. So you can either start a variable name with small letter A to Z, or you can start with an underscore. So you should not start a variable with a number. This is not allowed, this is not allowed, this is not allowed. You cannot start a variable with a number. So this is wrong, this is wrong, while this is correct. Okay, so that is number one rules. So we are learning it gradually. Don't start a variable with either you start a always start a variable with letter A to Z small letter. So let's say, for instance, you want to declare a variable for age, you say int age is equals to 25. So this is correct. This is correct. And we say again int underscore underscore is equals to 80. This is also correct. And let's say I want to declare a variable, now say int number, that is one, first score is equals to, let's say, 90. So this is wrong. This, because why is it wrong? Because we declare a variable with a number that is starting the word first, that is one. So let's get that in our mind when we are writing our code, when we are declaring our variable. That is number one rule. We have different rules And the second rule is no space or special character in variables names. So you should not declare a variable by writing spaces between the words. So don't write int total, then total marks, then marks is equals to 30. This is wrong because there is no space when you are declaring your variables. There is no space. This is wrong. Sorry. This is wrong. There is no space when you are declaring your variable. So the right way to declare a variable like this is int total marks. You join those words together. Total was equals to 30. So this is correct. So you can see another rules we have when we are declaring a variable. Don't use space, don't use special characters. Make sure you are joining those two words together and make sure you are starting those words with a small letter. So let's go to the next rules. So there's what we call camelCase and there's what we call PascalCase. So camelCase are used to declare variables, while PascalCase are used to declare your method, your classes, your constants. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about all these names I'm listing out to. That is your classes, your method, and constant. I'm going to be breaking down for you, but not in this video, in our next video. But let's pay attention that comma case is used for variables. What comma case means is that we are starting our first letter with a small letter, not with a capital letter. Like for instance, we say string first name is equals to Stanley. So this is correct. This is correct because we are using the comma case. The first letter of the word is supposed to starting with a small letter. Then the remaining word is starting with a capital letter. So this first is a word. This name is another word. So when you are joining them together, make sure the first one, that is the first letter of the first word is a small letter. The remaining word, the subsequent one, can the first one will be in capital letter. So you cannot just say string, then first name is equals to Stanley. So this is wrong. You cannot declare your first letter of your variable with a capital letter. This is very wrong. This is not a class, this is not a method, this is not a constant, but these are variables. So we use comma case to declare our variables. So there are the three rules we have to understand. We have to know very well when we are declaring our variables. So don't just go and write and make sure when you are declaring a variable, make sure it's reflecting your code name. You can just not declare int A. What is int A? I cannot just declare int B. Are you doing mathematics here? This is not mathematics, this is coding. Let someone understand your code. So they'll say A, you can just say age, or you can just say student age, or you can just say my age, or you can just say any kind of thing you want to declare, or you can say first number. At least someone will understand that this values I'm assigning to this variable is first number. You can just or B when you say you cannot just declare int B. What is B? What does B stand for? It doesn't stand for anything. So when I declare a variable, make sure it reflects your codes. Make sure at least doing this way, your codes, your variables will tell a story, or your codes tell a story. So make sure you declare a variable very well. So using short or confusing name like N, D, or ABC, using C# keyword like class is not a variable. Mixing style like first underscore name or first underscore capital letter under name is not the right way. So just follow these three rules I've just given you. First of all, what did I say? Make sure your variable, the name of the variable reflects your code. Make sure there is no gap or there is no space in between your variable name of a variable. If it's two words that are joining together, make sure you join them together without no space. And make sure you use comma case instead of the Pascal case. Pascal case Pascal case are used for method, are used for classes, are used for constant, but camel case are used for naming your variable or private fields. And that is all for today's class. Now you know how to name your variables like a professional in C Sharp. So in the next video, we'll start writing some real code using what you have learned so far. Okay, so what you have learned so far is how to name our variable using those three rules I just mentioned. So it's very, very important. Your variables tells a story. Your code also tells a story. And also, and when you give your code to someone to read out, they will understand what those variables are. So in the next video, we'll start writing some real code using what you have learned so far. If you have enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on the next class. This is NonnyPlus. I will see you in the next one.